I'm Chris Berman. Let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Raiders edge their way to a narrow 3-point win. Terry Glenn stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Eric Moulds had over 50 yards receiving and helped his Bills beat the Browns. Down in the fun and sun of Jacksonville, we had the Jaguars prove ineffective and lose by 21. Over in Raljean, Maryland, we had the Redskins get sent away with a 7-point loss. The Steelers' defense had a ton of sacks in their victory at Heinz Field. Bengals, Ravens. TJ Hushman-Zeta is so dangerous with his speed. The ball at the 27-yard line, and there's a little stutter step, and he's wide open. Touchdown! The Bengals win this one by the final score of 31-17. Vikings won on the road and will now head home to meet the Redskins. Boo Williams had a stellar game, but all said and done, his performance wasn't enough to lift his team to a victory. In a long-standing AFC rivalry, we had the Chargers pick up their third win of the season. David Givens had over 50 yards receiving and helped his Patriots beat the Lions. Off the Missouri River in Kansas City, we had the Chiefs put on a display and win by 21 points. Down in Nashville, we had the Titans get beaten by 24. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Boomer, thanks. In front of you, we've got the AFC Infirmary Report. And as you can see, they were hit hard this week. Robert Thomas might be the biggest loss on this list. He's suffering from symptoms of a concussion, and he'll be out for the rest of the regular season. There's a chance, however, they'll get him back for the playoffs. In front of you, we've got the NFC list. And as you can see, they could form their own MASH unit. Antonio Bryant sticks out on this list as one of the more costly injuries. He'll be out for 5 weeks.
And last but not least, we had the Packers come away victorious. So let's change things up a bit and turn to a guy that's had his eye on the college game, and that's our own Mel Kiper Jr. He joins us now. Mel, your work never ends, I know. Believe me, I know better than anybody else. But it's never too early to start thinking about next year's draft, is it?
Yeah, no doubt about it. And now that most teams have 7, 8, 9 games under their belts, we're starting to get a pretty good sense for which guys are going to be blue chippers come draft day. Flowers is one guy I look at that's come a long way the past couple of years to be where he is now. 6 feet, 247, out of Florida State, and most teams would be hesitant to go after a fullback so early, but this is a guy I really believe could be someone you plug in from the get-go, and he could wind up filling that position for you for a decade or so. West is another guy that's starting to make some noise with a terrific senior season. He was a virtual unknown coming into this year, but people are starting to project him to have a solid NFL career. I'm starting to jump on the bandwagon as well. So that'll do it for now, but expect there to be plenty happening between now and April.
So another week in the books here on ESPN, but what do you say we hand out a few game balls before we go? Here's my primetime players. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.